killed about 2 million Mexican Americans, Mexicans, and indigenous people. He started off repatriating Mexican Americans, displacing them to Mexico during the Great Depression. And if the terrorism itself, we should remember that the strategy was and continues to be to antagonize working class communities against each other. Whether they're Latin Americans, whether it's black folks, that is what the U.S. has been built upon. The labor and the exploitation of racialized people. And so we see the parallels with what's happening to Palestinians. We see that both the Euro-American and the Euro-Zionist settler colonial projects see our communities as demographic threats. But we know better. We know that our struggles are united. We know that it is by coming together that we will see the downfall of imperialism, of settler colonialism, of this racist, capitalist, neoliberal model. We refuse to be divided amongst ourselves. You've also seen how among the Latinos that have been rounded up, the Americans have also rounded up people of the Navajo Nation. Indigenous. Why? Because we look alike. This is what it's really about. They don't want people who look like us. It is a Euro-settler colonialist project. You also seen that it's Venezuelans and Colombians and Hondureños who have been deported. Why?
Go ahead. Just trying to get a better
Because
position.
those are governments of resistance to U.S. imperialism. It is because they stand with the Palestinian people, and the Zionists go crazy when they see our solidarity. We will not be divided. We will continue to work together the way we have for years. We will continue to make the parallel. From Toronto to the Navajo Nation, from Mexico to Palestine, we will continue to resist their borders. We will continue to resist their colonization, and we will continue to resist all forms of oppression that U.S. imperialism and its Western allies want to impose on us. You may have heard about the Latin freeze. Have you heard of this, the Latino freeze? Latin Americans in the U.S. are seeing that BDS is a winning strategy. Boycotts work. Latinos are saying we are going to start boycotting the multinationals that keep us down, that divide us, that want to keep workers fighting amongst themselves. On February 28th, they are going to not buy Coca-Cola. They are not going to buy Starbucks. They are not going to buy from Walmart. And it's a good time for us to join our boycotts and unite them so that we have bigger people power. From Palestine to Mexico, we will continue to resist your colonialism. Viva, viva Palestina!
Go home!
No, that's great. Lovely.
Go home!
I hope I didn't.
Kill yourself!
I'm here all the time. You're never here.
Down the Zionism is going to fall. Arriba Palestina, que va a vencer, que va a vencer. And that means up with Palestine is going to be victorious.
Okay, no, we'll hold things again.
What we're gonna do, when I say
You need hand warmers?
we're gonna do a little exercise. If you're able to, you're gonna do get down.
The short thing is to bring a hoodie and a jacket with a hood. And earmuffs.
completely stop being complicit in this genocide and forced displacement of the Palestinian people. Shame! Canadians should no longer be complicit. Americans should no longer be complicit. The rest of the world should no longer be complicit in this genocide in Gaza, in the forced displacement of the Gazawis and Palestinian people. Shame! From Gaza to Jorden!
He would accept 2,000 children from Gaza with cancer or other unacceptable illness. But we have computed as nothing but a PR stunt that only serves to appease Trump and signal Abdullah's willingness to cooperate with the ethnic cleansing plan. The best thing for the Jordanian government to do for the children of Gaza is to reject Trump's ethnic cleansing plan wholesale. Stop the U.S. war machine. It's because from Gaza to Jenin to Lebanon to Yemen, we see the height of Zionist attacks in the region, and we see it in the West Bank as well. Since the ceasefire announcement, we see a clear attempt to pressure the Palestinian people as a whole, to break their national unity, to use collective punishment to break their will, and to meet resistance with repression. But no matter how much violence and repression Israel unleashes on the Palestinian people, they will never succeed in breaking the unity of the Palestinian people. From prisoners in the West Bank attributing their release to the people of Gaza, to Palestinians in exile struggling for return, it is clear that the struggle for liberation is one of the same and can never be defeated. The demands of our movement remain the same. Arms embargo now. End all aid to Israel, and the release of all Palestinian political prisoners, and total liberation of Palestine from the river to the sea. From Gaza to... Make one thing clear. The Arab states like Jordan and Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates will try to send aid to Gaza as a guise to hide their complicity and the blood on their hands in the complicity of the genocide. And that's why our duty here is to work for our people in Gaza. The PYM has the Ta'ziz al-Samud campaign, supporting the steadfastness of our people. We are fundraising money to help rebuild Gaza, for Gaza to rebuild on their own terms. We refuse to let these states take credit and greenwash their crimes. We have to keep coming out, no matter how shitty the weather is. We are going to keep coming out. We're going to keep coming out. Today you're joining cities all over the United States and Europe. Today is a national day of action. We are going to keep coming out. So long as Trump keeps making these absurd claims, so long as the Arab states remain complicit, we will keep coming out until our very last breath. Free, free Palestine! We also have to keep coming out because we know exactly what the Zionists progress is. In the West Bank, in Gaza, our Palestinian people are suffering. In Lebanon, in the south, continuous ceasefire breaking. Shame! The people of Yemen are being punished for standing up to the Zionist entity and U.S. imperialism. Shame! All over our region, we suffer from the same conditions as Arab people. And look at us here as Palestinians, as Arabs and allies in the diaspora. We are here working and showing up for them. If it's taught us anything, is that the people of Gaza are steadfast. They have a love for the land that will never let them leave willingly. And Trump says that Gaza is a demolition site. I wonder why that is. Right? Who is funding Israel? Who is funding the Zionist state? It's U.S. imperialism. It's Canada. It's Western hegemony. They are the reason Gaza is the way it is. But the people of Gaza, despite all of this, and because of the resistance, stay on their land. You will see Egypt are some of the top recipients of U.S. foreign aid. And the U.S. uses this on the people of Jordan and Egypt and their governments for them to submit to U.S. imperialist aspirations. Of the Egyptian and Jordanian state. Accepting the deal does not reflect the will of the Arab people. Palestine is an Arab cause. It's a human cause. We all want to see a totally liberated Palestine. We do not want to see more Palestinian refugees. If the states of Egypt and Jordan want to serve their people, they will serve the Palestinian cause and have Palestinian refugees return to Gaza, to the West Bank, to 48 borders. From the back. Just to walk on the streets for us. We know we're on the side of justice. We're on the side of what's right. We know what we're standing up to. The Zionist state, U.S. imperialism will not last. We will outlast these crimes. For over 76 years. We are not tired. The people of Gaza are suffering. We have never seen what's happening in Gaza before. But look at the people of Gaza still on their land. And we're not just taking the streets. We are contributing to a movement. You're joining movements all over the US and Europe. It's a national day of action to stand up for Gaza against US imperialism. As I mentioned, the Palestinian Youth Movement has our Ta'ziz al-Samud campaign supporting the steadfastness of our people. We are fundraising mutual aid for Gaza, not through the NGOs, not through the Arab states, because Gaza must rebuild on its own terms. So thank you for being here. The weather's horrible. Again, we are here in numbers, and it's a testament to our movement. Want to see in Canada. We're dealing with a housing crisis, inflation on groceries, horrible social infrastructure, but the government chooses to prioritize funding a foreign war. We have an election coming up, a provincial one, but also a federal one, and we are pushing for an arms embargo, because this money, our taxpayer money, should be staying domestically. It should be going towards our social infrastructure. For the Canadian people listening to this. This is what we mean when we say our cause is an international cause. It is not removed from all our conditions. From Jordan, our work is not done. Our work ends when Israel ends. disperse now, so please don't leave individually, leave in groups. There's a subway here to get back to the U.S. consulate. But we're gonna keep showing up, we're gonna keep organizing. Follow us on as Palestinian Youth Movement Toronto, PYM Toronto on Instagram to stay up to date on future protests. We also do film screenings, we also do community events, because it's not just about taking the streets, it's about building a movement that is so strong that we will force our demands onto the Canadian government. Thank you for showing up. Please get home safe. Let's disperse from the intersection, please.